In this video, we will discuss how to complete the policy section for goal areas 3 through 7 of your STEPP Quarterly Progress Report. This is relevant to all grantees working on goal areas 3 through 7. By the end of this, you will be able to understand how to indicate the number of policy initiatives you are working on for each goal area, how to complete the specific items related to each of the initiatives, and how to navigate through the system. The first policy question you will be asked is to indicate whether you have had to significantly change your policy direction during the previous quarter. If you answer yes, you'll be asked to provide more information. Once you've completed this question, you will go to the next page. This page asks you to indicate how many policy initiatives you worked on during the previous quarter for the specific goal area. In this example, we're answering the question related to Goal 4. It's important to think about all the policy initiatives you worked on and to answer this question properly the first time, as this is one area you should not change because it will impact how the survey functions. For this example, I'm going to assume that I worked on 2 policy initiatives. Now you will be asked to answer a series of questions related to each policy initiative. You can see here that the instructions show that I selected 2 policy initiatives, and I need to think about the first as I answer the next questions. It's important to provide a name and description here that will be meaningful to you as you complete the rest of the questions and to help to differentiate between multiple policy initiatives. If you only have one policy initiative, you should still give it a meaningful name. As we go through this, I'm not going to complete each question, but rather show how responses to certain items may impact the questions which are shown to you. You can see that the questions now specifically ask me to answer related to the first policy initiative, prevent tobacco use among youth. This question asks you where in the policy continuum your work fell during the previous quarter. Based on the items you check here, it will determine which set of questions you receive in a given quarter. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and select all 6 just so we can see all the possible questions. But it's more likely you will only select 1 or 2 in a given quarter. The next section is Investigate and Analyze Policy Solution. This is being shown because I selected this as the next area in the policy continuum. Once you've answered these items, you will hit Next. The third step in the policy continuum, again since I selected all 6 options, is to advocate and mobilize community and supporters. As you click through this, your certain responses will cause other questions to appear. In this case, if I indicate that I have implemented a media campaign, I will see some additional questions related to that media campaign. Once you've completed these items, hit Next. Next is Assess Support and Propose Policy. Again, your responses to certain items will cause other questions to appear. In this case, if I indicate that the decision-making body considered or voted on the policy, I'm asked whether or not the policy passed. If the policy did pass, we ask you to send a copy of the policy to your STEPP point of contact. Since the policy passed, I'm asked some additional questions related to that. Here, you would provide the date the policy passed and when it will become effective. Next, you're asked to answer some questions related to the reach of the policy. Please be sure to read the description of reach before continuing through this page. On this page, you will be asked to provide information related to the total number of people served, and then how many people were served within various demographic categories. Once you've completed this section, hit Next. We're then taken to the second part of the section on assessing support and proposing policy. Here, again, responses to certain items will cause other items to appear. If the past policy is a multi-unit housing policy, you will be asked to provide more information about the multi-unit housing. If it's a worksite policy, you will be asked to provide information about the worksite. Finally, if it's a school-based policy, you will be asked a couple of follow-up questions. If the policy benefits an entire district, you will be asked to indicate the name of the district. If it's select schools within a district, you're going to be asked to send a list of those schools to Abigail Harris, and her email address is provided here. The next step in the continuum is prepare for implementation and enforcement. Similarly, if certain items are checked, other questions will appear. Once you've completed all questions, hit Next. The final step in the policy continuum is to implement and monitor enforcement and compliance. As in previous sections, your responses to certain items cause other questions to appear. Once you've completed all items related to this section, hit Next. You're now taken back to the first policy question, but this time you're going to be asked about that second policy initiative you indicated you had for this goal area. Again, you'll want to provide a brief name or description for this initiative. You'll see that the questions now ask about your policy initiative, tobacco-free work sites. Again, you will check all areas that you worked on within the policy continuum during the previous quarter. For this example, I'm only going to select the first category since we selected all 6 in the previous example. Once you've completed this question, go ahead and click Next. Assuming this was your last goal area, you will be taken to the final question of the survey, the impact and success story. If you need to answer questions related to other goal areas, you will be taken to the first question related to that goal area for the key activities. This video walked through how to complete the policy sections for goals 3 through 7 of your STEPP Quarterly Progress Report. This video only walked through completing the section for one goal area, but the process would be the same for multiple goal areas. You should now understand how to indicate the number of policy initiatives you are working on, how to complete specific items related to each initiative, and how to navigate through the system. If you have additional questions, please review the other resources on the website or contact the Evaluation Center.